The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Those who grant sympathy to guilt, grant none to innocence. I have given my word that only death will take me from you. The most important person you meet in life is your higher self. Nothing forces us to know what we do not want to know except pain. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. And the truth must finally lie in that which every oppressed individual feels within himself but hasn't the courage to express. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. I will no longer mutilate and destroy myself in order to find a secret behind the ruins. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. That's the duty of the old, to be anxious on behalf of the young. And the duty of the young is to scorn the anxiety of the old. Mostly, the world sees you the way you see yourself. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. The rainbow is the pot of gold to those who observe. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality. Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterflies. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. The truth knocks on the door and you say, "Go away, I'm looking for the truth," and so it goes away, puzzling. The world changes, we do not. Therein lies the irony that kills us. You have to realize that you are everything and more just on your own. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. The truth is that judgment and fear will never stop, but they don't actually do anything. But every difference of opinion is not a difference of principle. We're here, and then we're gone, and it's not about the time we're here, but what we do with the time. This had seemed a safe choice, since to be against the Beatles is to be against life. Last night, I lost the world and gained the universe. When you're the most happening person at the party, it's time to leave. Being human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right. Sometimes when hardships knock, it's just life. Do not take it personal. Do your work, then step back. The only path to serenity. Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Life happens. Shit happens. And it happens a lot. To a lot of people. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. If you listen to critics for too long, you will become deaf to success. Half of seeming clever is keeping your mouth shut at the right times. The tears of the world are a constant quantity. For each one who begins to weep somewhere else, another stops. The same is true of the laugh. My one regret in life is that I am not someone else. Life is a dream from which we all must wake before we can dream again. I read somewhere how important it is in life not necessarily to be strong, but to feel strong, to measure yourself at least once. After you find out all the things that can go wrong, your life becomes less about living and more about waiting. Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. If I tell you not to follow me, it ain't because I hate you, kiddo. I just don't want you feel disappointed when seeing the truth. Any serious social, political, and economic change must include veganism. Until you step into the unknown, you don't know what you're made of. Before you find your soulmate, you must first discover your soul. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. It is remarkable how long men will believe in the bottomlessness of a pond without taking the trouble to sound it. Every person, all the events of your life are there because you have drawn them there. What you choose to do with them is up to you. Whatever games are played with us, we must play no games with ourselves, but deal in our privacy with the last honesty and truth. Nothing is ever complete. You just have to get it close enough that it makes you happy. If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you'd need world attention to be able to prove it. If it's going to be a world with no time for sentiment, it's not a world that I want to live in. A lot of people have gone further than they thought they could because someone else thought they could. Making a difference to the welfare of animals doesn't require a massive effort. It requires small actions that can make a significant impact. Money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. What made me run away was doubtless not so much the fear of settling down, but of settling down permanently in something ugly. If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. A preoccupation with the next world clearly shows an inability to cope credibly with this one. If we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living. If you can't do anything about it, laugh like hell. Where you stumble and fall, there you will find gold. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. You can't just wish change. You have to live the change in order for it to become a reality. So early in my life, I had learned that if you want something, you had better make some noise. Depression isn't a war you win. It's a battle you fight every day. You never stop, never get to rest. It's one bloody fray after another. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. You will never break free from your constraints unless you're willing to risk failure to test the strength of your perceived bonds. A hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. If fate doesn't make you laugh, you just don't get the joke. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend. My life will be the best illustration of all my work. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Thoughts without content are empty, intuitions without concepts are blind. The act of going within, finding our truth, and then sharing it, it helps us far more than we know. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. Nothing can disturb your peace of mind unless you allow it to. I don't walk away from things I think are unfinished. Some things aren't meant to be known, only believed. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. It is better to be respected than it is to be popular. Popularity ends on yearbook day, but respect lasts forever. Bringing joy to another lights 1,000 suns within. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. Having the courage to stand up for what we believe in is our greatest glory, not winning every battle. Some things you hear with your ears, others you hear with your heart. The more I read, the more I acquire, the more certain I am that I know nothing. Rock and roll is not red carpets and MySpace friends. Rock and roll is dangerous and should piss people off. Life doesn't require ideals. It requires standards of action. Human life is but a series of footnotes to a vast, obscure, unfinished masterpiece. It's a sad day when you find out that it's not accident or time or fortune, but just yourself that kept things from you. It's much easier to not know things sometimes. Things change and friends leave, and life doesn't stop for anybody. Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like, I promise. Don't be afraid of death, be afraid of the unlived life. We are the sum of all people we have ever met. You change the tribe, and the tribe changes you. As he learns the truth will automatically free him. Divide your success in small pieces, easy to manage failure, easy to achieve success. If I lived a million lives, I would have felt a million feelings, and I still would have fallen a million times for you. If being is many, it must be both like and unlike, and this is impossible, for neither can the like be unlike, nor the unlike like.